After a decade of setbacks, production delays, and legal issues, this computer-animated comedy saw a low-key, contractually obligated direct-to-video release in May of 2013. Thanks to the aforementioned problems and what can only be described as gross financial mismanagement, this abomination cost an estimated $45 million to make. It earned back less than $100,000. Before we go any further though, I have to address the abysmal quality of the picture's visuals. The sheer ineptitude of Threshold Animation Studios cannot be overstated. The facial expressions are unsynchronized, the textures are boring, and the character designs are ugly. The animation here is so terrible it resembles one of those quick and dirty South Korean news reports if it were rendered with a Nintendo 64. Sans expansion pack. If the animation itself wasn't bad enough, the actual shot composition and framing is just as awful. Unmotivated dolly moves, bizarre close-ups, and inconsistent lighting, including one scene where the character's shadows change direction and size 5 times in a single minute. And whom do we have to thank for this cluttered mess? Writer, producer, and director Lawrence Kasanoff. The PG-rated story follows a group of food mascots who battle each other for control of the supermarket when it comes alive after closing time. Portraying these misfit weirdos is a cast of generally talented individuals: Charlie Sheen, Hilary Duff, Ava Longoria, Wayne Brady, Christopher Lloyd, Chris Kattan, Larry Miller, Ed Asner, and Jerry Stiller. I list each of them by name, if only to serve as a reminder that these are quite possibly the worst performances of their professional careers. This is especially true for Sheen, who carries a bulk of the dialogue, clearly phoning in his delivery without an ounce of energy or enthusiasm. If his portrayal of the heroic dog detective was actually entertaining, Foodfight might have had a chance. I honestly have to wonder though if the producers kidnapped a member of his family to force his cooperation. The lines he does deliver, either willingly or under duress, are nothing but wall-to-wall puns and crude sexual innuendo. Choice examples, which are generally spoken without context, include "once more unto the bleach" and "frankly dear, I don't give a spam." Changing a famous quote to some food-related rhyme isn't how comedy works.
I am hot! I'm hot! Go to fry!
Stay calm.
Go to crisp!
We just gotta find a way to get out.
It's not natural! Whoa!
Just breathe and focus. The answer will come.
What? The answer will come! I'm melting and you're getting all martial arts zen? You can put a...
Socks! That's it. Socks always escape from the dryer. Follow that sock.
Ouch!
Okay, pal. You're safe now.
Although the overarching plot and themes are extremely vague, there is inherently a neat concept here. Similar to Toy Story, it would be pretty cool to see famous mascots come to life and interact with one another. Would the Keebler Elves be next-door neighbors to Aunt Jemima? Obviously though, the execution here touches on none of that, opting to include Nazi overtones and imagery instead. The repeated musical cues breathe some life into the movie, but I have sincere doubts Walter Murphy composed the material specifically for this film. It feels like unconnected leftovers from a better score. Bereft of actual content, but still desperate to stretch the film to a feature-length runtime, the movie ends with 9 full minutes of credits. That's 10% of the picture. Honestly, I can barely find the words to describe this mess. So let's break out the thesaurus. Appalling, depressing, horrendous, disgusting, atrocious, dreadful, ghastly, hideous, horrifying, unpleasant, deplorable, offensive, and unsightly are all descriptions of this movie. Thankfully, I didn't pay to see it, but I still feel like asking for my money back. Avoid at all costs. Foodfight isn't just an insulting pile of shit, it's also the worst animated movie of all time. My final rating is obviously garbage.